Hey YouTube, how you doing? I'm out here today. It's Sunday, April something, I don't know. Figured I'm going to try a 10-mile hike today. It's a day hike. I'm on the Bay Circuit Trail, which is near my house. The Bay Circuit Trail is 200 miles long. It goes through Massachusetts kind of like in a little arc from coast to coast. I think I showed you the picture of the map on my sample of Bay Circuit Trail. It'd be cool to do the whole thing. I mean, a lot of it goes on roads. And what's strange is the directions only, there's a map and guide and description, trail description online, but they only go one direction. It only goes south, which I think is stupid, So Bay Circuit Trail people, you need to get a trail description going the opposite way so we don't have to try to reverse it in our heads as we are hiking. Because that can be kind of tricky because it goes in roads and you gotta look for trails and buildings and stuff. So I'm going opposite way of the trail description. I do have the map and description with me, so if I have to, I might try to see how hard it is to reverse it. So I'm trying to give myself a little test. 10 miles is a long hike for me. I was pleased on how my knees and feet reacted to that Mount Monadnock hike and climb. I didn't have any pain really, no bad effects the next day, just, muscle soreness, typical stuff. But it felt good. So I want to see how my body reacts to a 10-mile hike. So I'll keep you posted. Here's a picture of how it goes around Massachusetts. Makes that arc from coast to coast. It's not totally completed yet. I guess there's some places where there's like a temporary route on a road or something till it gets to another trail. If you look at the map online, it shows you what's kind of temporary and what's complete. So the plan is to do 5 miles out and 5 miles back. I'm keeping track of my mileage with an app called Routie or Rutie, R-O-U-T-I-E. So when that hits 5 miles, I'll turn around and come back. Check this out. The dollar store has 2 of these big Tootsie Rolls in a package. These are individually wrapped for $1. 2 of these big ones for $1. It's awesome. If you were doing a through hike of this trail, down in here would be a good place to camp for the night. Just go in there a little ways. It's quite a bit of woods through here. There is some trails around, but if you just stop close to dark and set up camp, didn't have a fire, you'd be fine. So I'm about to come to some road. It looks like a new road. Some new construction going on. See some markers down there. Hopefully it's clear which way to go. Well, I guess I don't go on this road. It says take a left here. Down this stone wall. It's kind of towards a swamp, so I don't know where it's going to end up. So it's taking me right behind this new constructed house. Kind of along the swampy area here. I've never been on this part before. Such an adventure. There's a cute little stream again, crossing the path. There's a lot of rolling hills on this trail. Up and down. Just came down that one. I gotta go up a little one here. I mean, they're short, but they're kind of steep, some of them. So far, even though I'm going the opposite way of the printed trail description, it is well marked so far, so I haven't had any problems finding the trail. I've only been on one road so far, which I already knew that way. That might have been a little tricky if I hadn't already been shown it, but I think I could have figured it out from the directions going the opposite way. Onward and upward. You do have to pay attention though. Got to the top of the hill here. Some high tension wires over there. But the trail goes to the left. Or the right. But you're actually way ahead there. I see the trail marker. You actually keep going straight. So you do have to pay attention. So far the trail just goes alongside these high tension wires. You're not really supposed to be on those trails, and people do it, but they don't like people under there. I would imagine it might cross it at some point, but so far it's just staying right next to it. Got some steep up and downs though, let me tell you. Okay, finally it has taken me on to under the high tension wires. Tells me to take a right. I bet you any money I take a left up there, that next ridge. Let's find out. So I was wrong. I actually went a few hundred yards under the power lines. Now I'm at a street, and it says, you see the marker there? It says to turn left on the street. So what they do on the street is you can look for them on telephone poles. So if I don't keep seeing the white markers, I will take out the directions and see, make sure I'm going the right way. But right now, it's obvious, take a left onto the street. There's a marker right there on the street. I'm walking on the street for a few hundred yards now. Let's see how far I have to go on the street. And here's a turn in the road. And there's a marker up there to show you to keep going straight. Check this out. Looks like one of the things you find in the cemetery. So I'm at mile 4.5. It's been about 2 hours. Not the fastest pace, but not too bad. And finally on the road I see a left turn into the school. So the trail must go behind the school. So it goes by some soccer fields and appears to just kind of go down this paved road. I'm almost at the 5-mile point though, so I'm going to have to turn around soon. Kind of a pretty area. Boy, this is a huge field area. All sorts of fields and some railroad tracks right there. Kind of strange to have that right next to a field where kids play. I'm still on this paved little road. Kind of a deserted road. See some people up there. When I hit 5 miles in a few minutes, I'm gonna take a break and make something to eat. Cool little sand pit back here. Just crossed the railroad tracks. I guess I see a trail marker way up there, so I keep going on this little paved road. Well, I'm a little over 5 miles now, and it finally takes a turn back into the woods. It's probably on the road for a mile and on this little paved road among these fields for probably half a mile or so. So I'm just going to find a place to cook right inside here and take a little break. Look at this. Looks like the dark forbidden forest in there. Luckily I take a left. Got some Slim Jims in there to get soft. We'll make some ramen noodles. Getting a little bit of a hot spot. I just call it maybe a warm spot right here. That's where I always get them. So I'm going to put a little bit of that Luco tape for blisters. Going to put some of that on. I'm going to charge my phone up with the lime fuel. It's getting kind of low because I'm tracking my route and everything. So it's beef ramen noodles with Slim Jim. Check this out. This is in a tree, about 6 feet off the ground. Looks like a bone of some sort. What the hell? What kind of bone? What kind of animal is that from, hopefully? And what is it doing up in that tree? WTF. So that was a fun hike. I did about 10.5 miles total. Probably about 4 miles of it or so, 5 miles was on a road. That's just the way the Bay Circuit Trail goes. It really wore me out. I mean, I was really tired. I went to bed at 8:30 that night, and I was really tired, but I felt good. The knees and the feet felt really well, so I was pleased with that. I guess the next test will be to kind of have several of those days, you know, where it's 10 or more miles 2 days in a row. So I need to kind of set up that scenario in one of my trips coming up. Well, what do you think of those bones I was showing? What the heck was that? That was creepy. Well, thanks for watching. Take care.